Good morning, friends. Today our topic is HTML table, and in our last lecture we already discussed about how to create a table in HTML. And in this lecture we are going to discuss about two important attributes used in a table, that are call span and row span attributes. And these attributes are used with TD, and uh, TD is basically a tag used to define table data, and TH defined for table heading. So it is used with TH and TD. Most of the time it is used with TD, and this is a very important question for your board examination, and there is always a question asked related to call span and row span directly, or there may be a code given in your examination, and on the basis of that output will be asked, that what is the output of this code, or there is a certain table where a call span and row span features is there, and you have to write a code for that. So call span and row span is very important attribute of TD and TH tag, and they are used with TD and TH tag. It is the first most important thing. It is not used with table tag directly. It is used with TD and TH. So what is the meaning of call span, or what does call span do? It basically allows a single table cell to span the width of the more than one cell or the column. So we can say that looks like a merge option in Microsoft Word. And so it basically merge two columns uh, in call span, and in row span we merge two rows, so or span two rows. So what does row span do? Allows a single table cell to span the height of more than one cell or row. So for row, basically row span is used to span the height of the more than one cell or row, and span used for more than one or more than one columns. So that is the difference between row span and call span attributes of a table. Sometimes in our table there is a requirement to span a column or span a row, or merge a row or merge a column, and that point of time we can use row span or call span attribute. And to span more than one row or one column, we give it a value equal to 2 or more, because it makes no sense that we give a value less than 2. To row span or call span, we always put a value of this attribute equal to 2 or greater than 2. So this is a very important attribute of TD. TD means table data, and TS tag. In our last lecture we already discussed that whenever we want to define a table, we use table tag, and in table tag we use two different tags. These are TS tag and TD tag. TS tag for table header and or table heading, and TD for table data. So we can use TH or TD, and within the TD tag we define data, or within TS tag we define heading. So whenever you want to merge these two rows, you can use call span or row span attribute according to the condition or according to a requirement. You can merge two columns or you can merge two rows. Next is why use call span or row span? Sometimes it makes sense for a cell to span multiple columns or multiple rows. This might be used for header cell that titles a group or columns, or a sidebar that groups rows of entries. And next important point is both call span and row spans are attributes the two table cells element th and tt. So as I told you that it is both used with both of th and tt tag, and they provide the same functionality as the merge cell in spreadsheet program like Excel. So in MS Excel, as you know that there is the option of merge cell. So same concept is here in HTML. You can merge two columns or two rows according to the condition or your requirement. So always remember that call span row spans means it is looks like a merge cell in MS Excel program. Next is so these are two important points regarding to call span and row span. So always remember that whenever we whenever we just implement merge cell options in a table in HTML, then we just use call span or row span attributes, and whatever be the value provided for call span row span attributes, such as call span 2, it means it basically merge two columns, and row span is equal to 2, it basically merge two rows. So this type of these attributes are used with second important thing is always used with TD and TS tag, most of the time with TD tag. The value of the either attribute must be a positive integer or whole number. So it must be a positive integer or a whole number. Negative value makes no sense at all. In fact, the value more than 2 or more than 2 makes a sense here. You can put 0 or 1, but it doesn't make any sense. But negative value is not allowed. And there is a small program, you can see that there is a table and its border is declared 1. And in our previous lecture, as I told you that by default border is 0, it means there is no border at all in a table. So whenever you want to define a table in HTML, so put border is equal to 1, at least border is equal to 1, so it will provide you at least some border for you. And then a tr refers for table row tr, and then tr you can define td tag or ts tag. So here we define just td tag, no heading in this table. So and in first part we can see that call span is equal to 2, it means it merges two columns. And after that the statement is row 1 and cell 1, and second is just we print a row 1 and cell 2. So there are two values printed as far as first row is concerned. And second is you can see that in second part, second tr means table row. Last lecture we already discussed about tr tag is basically table row, and actually in HTML we can show a table using different rows or row wise, not column wise. So tr tag is always there. And in second part you can see that there are three values regarding to second row: row to cell 1, row to cell 2, and row to cell 3. These are the three values regarding to row 2. So no call span or row span is there. In part third or third row, you can easily see that again there is span in there, but there is no call span here, there is a row span here. td row 3 cell 1, it's okay, but second line td row span is equal to 2. So they are we actually merge here two rows. So td row span is equal to 2 row 3 cell 2, and then td row 3 cell 3. So merging here row span attribute is used with td, which merges two rows and gives us a message of row 3 cell 2. This is, you can easily see that. Now when you already merge two rows, then for third row you have to put only two values for that, because one value is already merged with previous one. So there are only two values, row 4 and cell 1. You can easily see that. And then after, just close the table tag and let us see Let us try to execute this program. So in first row, call span is there, and in second rows, and in the second last row span is there. Let's try to execute this program. Open notepad file here first of all, and paste the program here. You can see that this is a program, same program that we write in Word. Row span and call span is there. Save the program. Actually, we don't give it is a name here. So first of all, my default name is here, but if you want to give it a name, then just mention it. This is a text file, and this is a small program to implement row span and call span. Always remember that call span or row span always used with TD or TS tag. It is not used with table and TR tag. So this is a very important multiple choice question. May be possible that in examination there are more than one options given, in which you have to find out the correct option, and always remember that call span or row span attributes always used with TD and TS tag. So first make a change in the program name here. We just try to name here pks is the name of the file, text file, and after that when we put sec secondary file name, then just select all files and then give the name same name as pks but different extension, not txt means text file. This text file is already there, dot html, and just save the program. You can see here this is the program here. Just double click on it and you can see the output of this program. It will take some time. So in the same program we implement the concept of call span, row span. Let us check what is the output. Close all other windows and just focus on that program here. You can see that this is a web page and address of the web page is given here also. Yes, this is the concept. In first line you can see that call span, due to call span attribute, two columns are merged here, and you can also easily see that the second row is as it is because we make no changes in it as far as row span and call span is concerned. But in line number third we merge two rows using row span attributes, so there is a merge of two row here. And in line number 4, row 4 cell 4, row 4 cell 3, we only provide two values to it because already one row is merged with previous one, row 3 cell 2. So that is the output of this program. So the concept is, in table if you want to merge more than or span two merge or span two rows or columns, you can easily do it with call span or row span attribute. And sometimes in examination already the output is given and you have to find out the and you have to write the code code is required to implement the concept of the table row span or call span. So let us make some change here, and you can easily see that if we want to put here 3, then what happens? Actually there are only 2 rows, so when we want to whenever we just write row span is equal to 3, so it makes no sense at all. And that is the third. We remove actually the third element here. So let us see what happens. This is the output, previous output. Just refresh the web page. Always remember that we just delete a value on third row and just make row span equal to 3. So 3 row will be merged, but we can easily see that after that only one row is given, so it makes no sense. But as we put no value in td here, so it will not be printed at all. In line number 1, if we just declare 2 values, then what happens? Let us check. That is output, no value at all. I want to show you just only this thing, that there is no compulsion to put all the values. You can put it empty as well as. And if you give more if you want to give more than row column, more than 2 values, and these values are not exist at all, then they should not be any kind, then they should no error at all. And here you see that td row span is equal to 3, but after that only one row is here. So how could this possible that 3 rows will be merged if and only 2 rows are there? So it basically shows not show any type of error here, only 2 values or 2 rows will be merged after that. And when you put no values regarding to any cell, then it will show you empty as shown here. So try to make different types of changes in this program, and you can easily see that what is the effect of these changes in this program. So if you don't put any value, then it shows you empty. Let us make another program here. So make some changes here. Now here we put a row span is equal to 3. Now I think it is correct, because after that 2 rows are given, so 3 rows will emerge here. Let us see what happens after that. Yes, so you can see here that 3 rows will emerge here. Call span is same for that as that of the previous question, but here we declared row span is equal to 3 for second tr tag. You can easily see that. And after that we declared only 2 rows for the next to tr, because already one row is merged with ever1. And then there you can see here. Yes, so this is a small program here. Now let us make another program. This is a small program for using call span or multi-column heading. And in this program we will trying to implement the concept of call span on ts tag. As I told earlier that we can implement call span, row span on both of the TH and TD tag. So here let's try to implement on TH tag, and there is a caption also. Caption means the title of the web page, title of the table. Title of the table is like expectancy by current age, and you can see here that different call span is there. Three call span is there. Call span 2 in first line, call span 2 in second line, call span 2 in third line. So there are totally 6 cells here. So in in second TR we give us 6 values to it. You can easily see that man woman, man woman, and man woman. Next, you can easily see here. Again, there are 6 different values for it. So no span is there, only call span is there in first TH, and there is a merge of 2 cells or 2 columns, and we provide call span 3 times. So total 3 columns will be there. You can see that this is the output, and at last table should be closed. You can see here that is the output. Life expectancy by current age is the caption of the table, and it will not a part of the table. First of all, as visible here, this is a representation, but but after that table will be printed like this. And because we provide a call span, then 65, 40, and third value is 30 will be printed using 65, 40, and 20 using call span attributes. So span of columns are there, you can easily see that. And this is a program. Let us check it, what is the output of this program. No row span is there, only call span is there. So just take them one by one. First of all, just try to implement the concept of call span first. In our previous example, we implement both of the concept at the same time, but in this program just try to implement only the call span attribute. You can easily see that, and there is another caption tag is there, so which will provide the title of the table. So just write this program on your notepad and then try to execute this. You can easily see that. And in first part of TR there is a call span 2 given 3 times, so it means that the span of column of 3 times, and each and every time we span 2 columns, so there are total 6 values in it. So in second and third part of TR we give actually 6 different types of values here. These values may be same or may be differ, it doesn't matter. As you can see in second TR tag, man woman, man woman, man woman are repeated 3 times here. So just check it whether it gives your correct output or not. Yes, this is the output, but one thing is missing here, border, because there is no border at all. By default border width is 0, so just write border attribute with table, and here we assign border is equal to 3, so there must be a border. First of all, save the program and then refresh the web page. These changes automatically reflect on your web page, as you can see here. Now it is okay, I think. You can see that easily the call span is there, 65, 40 and 20. Two columns merge here and the value is 65 for that. Again two columns merge here and then value is 40, and then again two columns, merging of two columns are there, and then again 20 will be printed at all, 20 will be printed. So this is a program to show the call span, functioning of call span. Now let us take another program. I think it is sufficient for this lecture. This in this lecture actually we discuss about call span, noise span, span attributes. So let us take a quick revision for all of this concept. There are two or three important things. First of all, this lecture is directly related to the previous one, so if you don't watch the previous lecture, or this will you are not able to understand the concept of call span, noise span in this video. So first of all, this was the previous one, and only then after implement, or then only after just watch this video, you can able to understand the concept of call span, noise span. First thing is that to make a table, there is a table name, there is a tag name called table, and within the table we actually apply tr tag, which defines a table row. So we implement the concept of table using table tr tag, and after that we put a data using tt tag, and if you want to put a heading, then just we put a ts tag. So this is the basic concept of implementation of a table. Now, sometimes according to the requirement of the question, we want to merge or span column and row. Then for this purpose, there is an attribute name row span or call span. These both of these attributes can be used with the td and ts tag. Most of the time used with tad tag, because most of the time there is a requirement to merge different cells to represent a particular data here. And second important thing is that whenever you merge two columns, then after that merging of two columns, and suppose that there is a table which have three cells, then if you put call span is equal to 2, then only one value is left, so you should give only two values for that. And third thing is, and when you put row span attributes, then you if you implement the row span in a particular table and a particular row, then don't try to give a value in other tr other row. So if you merge the two rows in a tr tag, then after that tag, if we use another tr tag, then just write two values for that, because already one row is merged with ever one. So this is the concept of tr and td tag. Just try to implement different types of tr, different types of call span, row span, and in different manners. And this lecture we will discuss in detail in the next part of this lecture will be discussed and in our next lectures. So regarding to call span and row span attributes, we will discuss this concept, or this concept again in our next video. So hopefully I think you understand the concept of row span and call span. Thanks for watching this video.